Okay, in this lesson, I'm just going to talk a bit about how to use chord hits as a way to give a framework to your improvising. And I've talked about this in other lessons. This time I'm in the key of A using an alternating thumb. And if you want to download the tab for the example that I played on the way into this lesson, you can go to the link below or the link on screen, sign up for my mailing list, and download a PDF with the example that I just played tabbed out for you. Okay, so really this is a kind of call and response. We've got these kind of major pentatonic or even Mixolydian sounding licks. And obviously if you're improvising, you know, you're not going to be playing set licks, but I'm using this as an example to just kind of show the interplay between the licks and the chords. And at the end of the lesson, I'll just show a couple other possibilities we can talk about. But basically, the thumb is alternating when we're playing the licks in open position. And I'm being kind of a little fast and loose with the fingerings, just kind of grabbing what I need to with the left hand to get the different licks. So here, playing kind of part of an A chord, and then here playing it more with the bar. So in the first case, thinking about it kind of out of this shape, but not bothering to hold down anything I don't really need. And then for the second lick that I played, this is kind of one of those licks that combines major and pentatonic, because we've got the minor pentatonic notes here, and then we've got this bright major sixth kind of jumping in. And so again, for the fingerings, it's whatever A chord fingering will let you get the notes you want. And again, really just worrying about what do I need for the bass, which is this note here on the second fret of the fourth string. So here thinking about kind of this sort of shape. And now here, in order to get the sound of that lick, that major sixth to flat third, it looks like an A minor shape or A minor sixth chord, which basically it is. And again, these two fingers are holding down the notes we need for the melody on the third string and for the bass on the fourth string. So that's the single note licks and some of the thought process behind that. And then the chord answers. Here, the thumb is still alternating, grabbing whatever fourth string note the left hand happens to be playing as part of the chord voicing. And really the idea is to be playing these sliding ninth chords. It's a sixth chord here, an A6, with the root, the third, and the sixth, that then slides down to the flat seven and the nine and the fifth, which is, you know, T-Bone Walker and a whole bunch of other things. The Chain Lightning lick from Steely Dan. So it's got a lengthy and diverse heritage, that move. But anyway, you know, Western swing steel guitar stuff, it's everywhere. But it's just these three notes going down to these three notes, and the way to coordinate it with the thumb in this particular case. And again, you only need the index finger later on in the measure. So you've got the thumb, and then the thumb, and completes the chord with the index finger and the middle finger on the second and on the third and second strings. And then like that, the fingers have got the same third and second string, and then the thumb comes in on beat 4 to complete the chord. So, and then the next time, ring finger grabs the high string when the index finger comes in on the left hand. So that whole phrase. And so you're really just playing licks in the open position, followed by this chord thing. So different lick. And so you could just start improvising in the space that you've got in the first two measures of each 4-bar section. Right, so now instead of thinking that you have to come up with just this constant flow of ideas, you just have to come up with 2 measure ideas and drop them into that little spot. And of course, eventually you'd want to sort of fold this into a whole chord progression, but just as a thing to practice and as a cool vamp, you can just work out little 2 measure ideas and then drop them into that spot. And then you've got this constant sort of chord riff to play off of. And that gives you a way to think of your improvising in kind of a more modular way, where it's, well, whatever cool 2 measure thing you can come up with, that'll drop in here, and then you go and you play the lick, the chord riff. So you can just take any kind of blues lick you want and try to work it out over the bass, just using the same idea of like whatever chord shape you need to grab to keep the thumb notes in place with the left hand, and then you sort of add in what you need on top, and you coordinate it all by just counting out the beats and 1 and 2 and all of that. So that's the idea, alternating licks with a set chord riff. So again, if you want to download the tab for the opening example, go to the link below or the link on screen, sign up for my mailing list, and I'll see you next time.